Geislinger. Alright, so today, I'll just check it out for a utter loss. I mean, not only is my gig canceled, I'm paying $50 for a hotel. Just did my laundry, sent a bunch of emails, and hopefully will not have to stay in another hotel for the rest of the tour. What's going on with you? So, earlier today I was talking about how, even though this guitar, I don't consider this guitar music, it's not like flashy, what you would think is flashy guitar. This is like the least flashy guitar music there is. So we're going to look into my song, Don't Walk Down the Stairs Backwards. It's probably my favorite instrumental. I've written a few other instrumentals since then that I'm happy with, but outside of Valley of the Arkhams, this is the instrumental I wrote that I'm happiest with. So, here's what it is, and this is to show you that, like, a crazy surfing instrument doesn't have to be all lead guitar-y and, you know, just like, you know, just a Dick Dale tremolo picking. So this song really is only 3 chords. All right, what that is 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, and then I go to the next chord. And then this chord is, so it's a dominant. So I basically go from the Aeolian chord to the Phrygian dominant chord. Right, and I land on this note, which is really just the 7 of the chord. So, yeah, all I'm doing is, every guitar player has played this B7 chord. All I'm doing is I'm playing the 3 lowest notes, and that the A is the highest note. So think of this E minor, but the song is in C minor to G7. Right? 7, 1, flat 9, 1, 7, flat 9. Here's where it gets interesting. 3, 5, flat 9 in a higher octave, and then the 5 of 1. So really, when you put that all together, it's, I know it sounds like a lot of chords. It's really just over that 5 chord. Now, that note is with my... If you notice, here it is. But it's so tense sounding because it's a flat 9. Flat 9 is supposed to be the most tense sounding chord in the universe. this. You see, either way, you're playing, I just usually hang the seventh over there, the seventh being the root note of the chord, because the seventh is not in the melody. Therefore, any note in the chord that's not in the melody can hang if you can't get to the root, You can't play a third in that bass note because the third's in the melody. Da, 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 na, 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 na. I did that for convenience so that I have I can always lead with the tensest note. And the second most tense, which is obviously the seventh, goes behind that. So that's why it's important for a bass player. Ox, what's going on, dude? That's why it's so important for a bass player to understand where the melody is going. See, even though I'm playing the 7, which is a gnarly note to play over a chord, so then the third part of the chord is na 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 na. All I'm doing is 6/5 over that, right? And then that sixth of the 5 chord, which is the G, becomes the 5 of the 6th chord, which is the C, or really the A flat, Now, when you put that all together, it's really just, if you're playing the chords, right, then play like a normie guitar player for a second. Ba 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 ba. Now, that's what a normie guitar player would play. Rhythm guitar, and it sounds totally cool. Because you go da, 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 I would even take both 3 and play it like I'm in A minor, which in my guitar is K+7. Have real nice, easy access to that chord that you hear in a lot of flamenco music. That makes flamenco, I feel the song is just a 3-chord song. It's just the chords are kind of played different. Another song that I wrote called Caught in the Act of Walking Down the Stairs Back, which is not out yet on Spotify, but I'll still play for you. Again, capo 3, which on my guitar is capo 7 because I tuned to C standard. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that song took a few different chords, but it's no chords that Guitar 201 player can't play, master, and I'll show you guys what would actually sound best on a song like that. And again, you want these tension notes to be in the chord, in the music. You don't want to move to where the melody is. A lot of musicians make that mistake. Ryan McGillicuddy, Lice Crispy. What's going on, dudes? Now look at where the melody is. There's always a tension note in the melody. I'm starting it off, just a major walk up to a minor chord, which is already gnarly. As you change chord, notice that's a tension note. It goes tension to release, because that's the melody, right? Dissonant, consonant, consonant. Dissonant, consonant, consonant, dissonant, consonant, consonant. Ba, 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 ba. All consonant. Da, da, ba, seventh. That's easy because that's just root notes. Root notes are to be avoided at most costs. You never want the root note in the melody, but when the root note is in the melody, make sure the bass note is different. Even if it's just a fifth, it sounds so much fuller. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Consonant, dissonant, consonant. here on the minor 6. How cool is that chord? Then you hear that? You hear where that chord went? Notice it's all, you know, it's very basic chords. It's just where you go with the chords. And you gotta have distance with the music. You can't have one musician or two or many following too closely to where the melody is. Here's the melody, here are the chords. At certain points, you know, all those constant notes are constant within the chord. For instance, bum, 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 bum. Everything's still diatonic, it's in the key, but good, you know, constant, not constant, constant, not constant, constant. And that's the whole thing about chord melodies that a lot of people don't understand. You want to sit in that uncomfortability with not being constant. Bum, 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 bum. And this is where people get frustrated when everything they play sounds consonant and there's no holes, there's no dissonant holes to make that music more interesting. Ba, 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 ba. Just hang on that note for a second. Ba, ba, ba. That 6 is a funny note because it sounds so consonant, yet it's consonant, yet it's not. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Oh, I love that. Here's a part also where it's on, because now you're 5, da, ba, ba. You hear that? Well, you don't want all those notes in the harmony of that song or in the rhythm. You know, acoustic guitar is a rhythm harmonic instrument. It's primarily a rhythm instrument. You want something for those notes to fall on to go, ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, this is interesting. It ain't just the lead guitar that can be the interesting part. Rhythm guitar can be just as interesting. Ba, 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 ba. Notice that. That's cool. Bum, 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 da, da. Bum, 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 bum. Again, when it's played open like that, it doesn't have as much impact. And there is a chord, even though when I'm playing it live, right? I'll just show you for context where the song goes and why it's not so obvious. Because watch this. right? That's a G, so. And there's no notes that tell you you are now going into that 5 chord, except, yeah. You kind of skip over it until it's not skip overable. All of this implies this. Notice how rudimentary it is? It's bum 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 bum. And that's with bass 101. Bum. You see, there's so many what you'd call jazz chords. They're hard chords, but they're actually in easy chords. A lot of my music, a lot of Beatles music is that. It's hard chords kind of floated into the easy chords. The easy progressions, meaning, the diatonic. Everyone knows that play A minor, B, E. Or really, F minor, G, C minor. Right? It's Guitar 101. Yet, when you hear the melodies can take it from very simple music. That's the whole thing about Nirvana. Look at Kurt Cobain. None of that implies what Sounds Like Teen Spirit actually is, which I call Aeolian major. So, because that first chord is... See, all it is you're hearing the same chords. The same 4 chords, yet that melody is what tells you why you like that song. Look at how many tensions and release there are, And the only reason why I have this note there is because it's the tensest bass note. See, that really blurs the edges of Aeolian major, which is not common in music. Aeolian is never major. Aeolian is minor. And a lot of my genre, psychobilly, reverts to Aeolian when it really limits it. That's one of the most limiting factors of my genre of music. What makes a song Aeolian is the Aeolian note. You think Aeolian is a sauce, I think of it as a mode in music. because of that first chord is very major sound. It's the second and third chord when they're going, because he's singing the 11 to 5. The third chord, I could go. But having that major note reinforces what you're actually hearing, which is an F major chord. And then here you got, notice this note is very consonant over that B flat chord because it's B flat. But that suddenly gets interesting when you hit that same note over an A flat chord. This chord is not interesting over the D flat chord, mainly because it is D flat. And D flat over a D flat chord is not interesting. A D flat over an F major chord is very interesting. It's got to resolve somewhere, but it's interesting. And then I end it with just the D flat, but instead of playing it like this, because the 5 is in the melody. You could put whatever note degree you want in the scale. I can play all chords like this, right? And that sounds very Hendrixy, actually. That's where you get stuff like this. But it's all the same chord. It's just parallel motion, not... That when you do finally get off the parallel motion, even if it's not a constant chord, it sounds like, oh, it revolved somewhere. T6 photos. What's going on? But that's what I'm trying to educate you on, is... You can play the most rudimentary stuff. The melody has to go somewhere. And that's why songs, decades past, let's take Johnny Cash. So I'm always trying to move it around because the excitement in a song like that is where the melody goes from that tonic center. Not to that time extent. You want to be able to wrap your ears around it. You know, that's why. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, because to my ears at least, that's much more interesting than a guy blazing doing whatever kind of pyrotechnics they're trying to communicate. It's way more interesting to hear the guitar as minimalist as possible, as melodic as possible. That's what people are expecting to hear. And then you want to kind of slide up and make that second time sound a little bit different than the first time. But you want to always make your music as though you're singing them a song. Even if you are not the one singing and the guitar is singing. You're still backing up a singer. Even if that singer is not the voice. Anyway, I'm going to go do the second half of my laundry. See you guys in a little bit.